The House is back, so are we. New government, new opposition, new arrangement in the House, lots of news, and I think what we're seeing is, the Liberals are now on the opposition side, and they're starting to learn the art of asking tough questions, and the New Democrats are on the government side, and they're trying to remember not to say any longer that the ministry's in a mess, because they're in charge. We've also got a new speaker.
We got a new speaker. That was a dramatic play last week. Darryl Plecas defecting effectively from the Liberal Party to take the speaker's chair. The allure of the triangle hat was too much for Mr. Plecas, and he's now out of the
$156,000 a year.
He's now booted out of the party, which Vaughn, has ramifications in terms of the stability for the New Democrats. We're looking at potentially years of this government now.
Yeah, we spent weeks speculating on how difficult it was going to be to manage the House with a one-seat majority. Well, Christy Clark quit her seat over the summer. Plecas is no longer voting as a Liberal. So now John Horgan's got a 3-seat margin and some stability, and the Green NDP government is going to get a chance to show what it can do. We also got a budget update this week, and the fascinating thing to me about the budget update, Rob, was it showed up that the Greens and the NDP are still working out their relationship as well.
Yeah, I don't think we realized till the budget update how much pressure the Greens were exerting on the NDP behind the scenes, because marquee election promises, the $10 a day childcare, the $400 annual renters grant, they didn't show up in the budget update. And so there were questions to the NDP, Premier Horgan, Finance Minister Carol James, where are those? And the answer was, we're still consulting with the Greens, which shows you that Andrew Weaver yields a lot of influence behind the scenes. He's actually pushing major NDP items. And his comment, Vaughn, which I thought was interesting during the week, is it's irrelevant what the NDP ran on in the election. It's only relevant what the Greens will agree to now, which is, I'm sure John Horgan does not like hearing that from Andrew Weaver.
It's a work in progress. You're seeing us standing in the Rose Garden beside the legislature. The Premier sometimes stands out here. He's been doing a lot of media availability already. I'll give him that. John Horgan, new Premier. Lots to talk about, lots happening. And next week, he is going to be responding to one of the big things he's put out there. The New Democrats asked the Utilities Commission to do an independent review of the future of Site C. The Commission is going to come back next Wednesday with a preliminary report. Some answers, although I think ultimately the final decision on this is going to be the Cabinet, not the Utilities Commission.
It's the first of a series of consultations. The NDP have kicked down the road on major files. Site C's coming back with this interim one, but in the coming months and into next year, we are going to see some major items land back on the agenda of the Cabinet to actually make decisions, and this is kind of the beginning of that happening.
Good to be back. There will be lots to talk about this fall, and I hope we'll be back next week telling you about more of them.